creative team has put a lot of effort into creating these monsters, and they've come a long way. They've definitely evolved a lot. As you can see here, top left, bottom left, we have some concept art of the lawn gnome, some of its original poses, some of its future poses. We have the lawn gnome general, which is going to be one of the bosses there. We have a mounted lawn gnome as well. Here we have some concept art about the buzzsaw. The buzzsaw is a really interesting character. You're going to be seeing a lot in the sandy and grass areas. On the right-hand side, we have the mama saw and the papa saw. And of course the buzzsaw in the center. Here's the tiny terrors. This is also brand new. No one's ever seen these before. This is another monster you're going to be finding in the Otami ruins a lot. You have some different concept art there, lots of different poses and attack positions. And I'm going to say you're really going to get annoyed at these guys pretty quick when you get into the game. So watch out for the tiny terrors. And then of course we have the sandcastle golem. You guys saw this last year. You saw the picture on the top left last year, and like I said before, our creative team wants to make sure to make the best game possible, and sometimes that means changing things. The original concept that we wanted for the sandcastle golem has changed a lot. When we started getting into that area, started making that zone, we wanted to give him a lot of abilities and attacks that just didn't really fit right with the original version of the sandcastle golem. So, of course, the creative team went back and started recreating it, changing things, adding things, and then we have the final version today, which is the sandcastle golem. Here's a bunch of different ingredients that you can find, a lot of loot items that are going to be part of your recipe system. Throughout the game, you're going to be finding and earning different recipes, and then with those recipes, you can find and earn these different types of loot, and then combine them together to make customized items. The items in the bottom left and bottom right, no one's ever seen before. These are a bunch of different customizable items that you can be able to create in the game through recipes, ingredients, and meeting certain criteria. At the top left, we have the ninja suit. This is more than one item. This is a number of different items put together on the one avatar, so that's more than one item that you can earn. Next to him, you have the Predapup alien hunter gear. Once again, there's more than one item equipped on this avatar. You can just see all the different cool poses you can do. Next to him, we have the Otami armors, Otami weapons, which is based around the Otami ruin theme. Underneath the Otami ruin, we have one of our surfer chicks. She has a surfboard, sunglasses, surfer gear, all of which you can earn through recipes in the game and create and customize. Next to her, we have the Barton Guard's armor, or Leon's armor. And then next to Leon's armor, we have a whole variety of other items, lawn gnome items, lawn mowers, seaweed heads, lobster claws, I mean, you name it. So there's going to be all sorts of cool items you can be able to create and customize in the game. And we'll do this later because we're really running out of time. Throughout the game, there's tons of different locations you're going to be adventuring in. Here we have a few of those locations. On the left-hand side, we have the Otami ruins. You'll see in a screenshot a few minutes from now the amount of detail that our creative team has put into it. This is one of my favorite areas. It's just when you get into the game and you start interacting with a lot of the environments and the quests and stuff, you can really see how much time our creative team has put into it. I mean, I know we announced it, 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, that we started working on this game? But we wanted to make sure we made the best possible game for you guys. And on the right and left, we have the house on the hill and Rancher Bill's farm concept art. Here we have the Zen Garden and the Barton Sewer. The Zen Garden, one of the coolest things is underneath that arch, you see a little avatar. That's an actual size of your avatar with relation to this map. And this isn't the entire map, this is just one segment of it. So that's just one of the really cool things to keep in mind, is that these are really, really big areas, really cool zones. But let's get to the good stuff. All right, so we're going to go through some screenshots here. I'm going to give you a little bit of background information with the evolution of the game. First off, we have the Dead Man's Pass. You guys saw this screenshot last year. This is very, very, very early screenshot of the game. You know, we have your initial chatting interface, bottom left, your ring equips in the center, your health bar, your rage meter on the right, and you can just see, you know, this is very, what's the word? This is a very, very early preliminary version of the game. It's evolved a lot. We've gone ahead and created the Village Greens. This is much, much further into the process. This is about 1.5 years into the process. You can see at the bottom there we have your chatting, open and closing of your emotes, your chatting interface, your squatting up and down, your map, all your ring equip screens, your health, your stamina, your rage meter. And this is the Village Greens. You can see some lawn gnomes walking around, some pink flamingos. We have the Zen Gardens. Once again, this is about the same time as that previous screenshot. One of the cool things about this is we have a great Q&A team back at the office that's going through this game and making sure that it's as fun as possible. And whenever they find something that's not cool or really detrimental to the gameplay, they always want to fix it. And this is one of the cool, this is a good example of that. If you look at that tree, underneath or behind the tree, there's a fluff that's hidden. And you can't really tell if he's there. He's like half in, half out. And how uncool would it be if you're running through a zone and you don't see a monster and you instantly get aggroed and you one-shot it? That would not be cool, right? You want to know where those monsters are. And that's one of the things that our Q&A team came across. And that's just one of many. And of course, you know, we went back, we've changed that. Whenever a monster's behind something, you actually see a shadow, so you can be aware of that monster. You can activate the right ring so you can stealth by it, or you can attack it, whatever you want. But that's just another example of how much time our Q&A team has put into it, just to make sure that all the little things that might not be cool or are very detrimental aren't in the game, and then to fix those problems. Here, of course, is the Barton Town. This is about the same stage as the previous screenshot. The cool thing with the town is that it's such a big zone, we had to actually zoom the camera out. So when you're in the game, the Barton Town is a lot different than the other zones because it's zoomed out at, I want to say, is it 50% or 75%? 50%. So it's twice as big as a normal map size, which is really cool. And of course, the Barton Town, there's lots of cool mini games, lots of quests, lots of missions, and you can gather together and form up your crews. Of course, there's Rancher Bill's Farm. This has evolved a lot since the previous screenshot. Here we have your, on the far left, we have your map interface, your local map, your global map, you have your chatting at the bottom. You have your whole navigation bar has changed. You have your chatting open and closing. Your PDA, which is access to what items you have, what rings you have, what quests you're on. It's really evolved a lot. Here we have the Aqueduct at the bottom left, the Barton Sewers bottom right, and Baskin Lake in the top center. And the Null Chamber. Null Chamber is a new zone that we haven't really announced before. One of the cool things about the Null Chamber is that when you're in the game, the only place where you can unequip or re-equip your rings is in the Null Chamber. So you have to, you know, when you're with your crew, you figure out who's doing what, you equip everything that you need, you figure out what strategy you're going to be using before you actually go into the game. And the Null Chamber is a great place to do that. You go in there, you talk with your buddies, you get your crew together, you figure out who's doing what, you equip those rings, and you adventure into the game. And as you can see, it's evolved a lot. You have your ring menu at the top left there, with your rings, consumables, loots, and recipes. Here's just another example of how the layout and customization in this game. It's very customizable. You can move any of these windows wherever you like. You have your chatting interface, the main game interface, the quest interface. You get the point. It's just really, really vast. It's very customizable so that it's as user-friendly as possible. So here's some screenshots. We've got some group screenshots here of a bunch of users getting ready to do a quest on the Dead Man's Pass, heading off towards the house on the hill. Here we have some users that are in the Zen Garden battling some ghost lanterns. They have a few users activating some spells, getting some ice cast on them. They're being attacked by some mushroom turrets here. Here we got a bunch of tiny terrors terrorizing our crew again. This is one of my personal favorites. It's you know, you got your Zen. Sorry, this is Zen Garden. What am I thinking? This is the Otami Ruins. You're in the Otami Ruins here. You've explored partial area. You haven't explored the whole area yet. So you still have your Fog of War. You got your bladed statues attacking our crew there. Some tiny terrors ready to go. A few spells going on. All right. So what do you guys think? All right, so let's go ahead and hop right to Q&A. We only have about half an hour, so let's go ahead and form a line down the center. If you guys have any questions, any question, anything you guys want to ask, we do apologize it went through so fast. We want to get to the Q&A as fast as possible. So yeah, this is a good time. Coming up here, we're going to give away a Kiki. We're going to do some more free stuff right after the Q&A, so stick around. So yeah, we're going to bring a mic up right now. So coming up, any questions at all, anything related to Oh My God, to Gaia, to anything at all. The only things we request